very speedy as well. 11-2. Equilateral is 7-1 for Charlie Hills and William Buick, and big prices some of the rest of them. But the English Raiders have a big strike rate in this Durnstown Flying 5, but can make a challenge. The Tipperary horse stopped them in their tracks, Ted and Jane.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a flat-track bully over here, Make a Challenge, because he's dismissed all opposition, really, including last time against Urban Beat when he just about got up there. But here's the favourite, Jane.
This is the horse that, this is a very competitive race, but this is our market leader. Drawn 1, A. Ali. This is a very, very good 2-year-old from last year. He won the Norfolk, the Pre-Robert Papin and the Flying Childers, but he hasn't been half bad this year either. He beat Liberty Beach in the Sprint Stakes at Sandown. He also won the Sapphire Stakes here over course and distance, crucially beating Make a Challenge. Can he confirm the form?
Next we get a look at, hopefully we Make a Challenge there, our leading contender here, number 2. Just not in a shot there at the moment. Pick up whatever you like.
Yeah, he's I mean, Ted, he's been impressive this season, but this is going to be his stiffest test of the campaign so far. Like, you'd love to see the home flag flying high, but...
Do you think, Ted, the A-Ali Glass Slippers drawn 1 and 2, Make a Challenge in 14? We saw in the opening race over course and distance the low draw was important.
Yeah, but Billy Lee jumped out in the last race and went a real good gallop on the far side and brought everything with him. It's wherever the speed is. Now, the only thing about Michael Challenge, he likes to come from off the pace a little bit. I hope he's not left on his own over there. I'd say with 14 runners, they'll all come this way because they won't be tempted to go the other way. Make a Challenge likes to be covered. Joe Dye likes to take his time on him, get him... I'm going to take his time, but get him covered a bit before he pulls him out to go. He's not a horse that blazes along in front. And there's plenty of horses here who like to cut the mustard and jump and run. And they're all drawn basically on the stand side here, as we call it. And I'd say he will too. I'd say there won't be 2 divisions here. They'll come, everything will come towards the stand rail.
He missed a break last time out, Make a Challenge, and just about made up for it, but...
yeah, you think he missed the break, but Joe doesn't want him running early.
Yeah.
He lets him come out now. Obviously, there's a thin line between missing it and coming out a little bit cold.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That filly we just saw going there was Kia Moro. She was second to Patash last time in the Nunthorpe. That's serious run. Michael Dodds really knows what to do with sprinters.
And she's fast. There's a lot of fast animals here. A lot of very, very fast animals. They've been batting off a Patash all along the line, who's a record breaker. And these will find themselves going a little bit easier against these horses. Ready to roll, Rich?
And they are rolling. 10 fillies and 4 colts and geldings break away, and just behind them a little was Silver Spear. But in the early speed, Keep Busy is very prominent through the early part. Curious is close up, and Keamora got away smartly as well. And they're being chased through the early part by Made in India. Liberty Beach is close, and just behind them is Glass Slippers. Yeah, and Ali is about midway, and the Cream Jacket down the inside, over on the far side. And the Sanela is next. They're being followed further back. Make a Challenge is only 1 behind at this point. Is right towards the back of the field, but on the wide outside, on the right hand side of your picture. So out in front it's Kea Moore and Paul Mulrennan who lead. Made in India the far side. Keep Busy's right there too. Liberty Beach is behind them now, trying to pick up there in behind them too. As they're making their way is Alligator Alley, who's trying to pick up next, but Keep Busy's over on the near side, quickening up smartly, trying to come home. Glass Slippers, Made in India's in there too. Sanela, Make a Challenge, too much to do. Keamara runs out of room. Keep Busy with Glass Slippers over on the far side. There's little between them. Keep Busy with Glass Slippers, they're having a good old battle together. Keep Busy, Glass Slippers is trying hard the far side. Glass Slippers gets up to beat Keep Busy. Sanela, Made in India, Make a Challenge was next. They were followed in by Equilateral, Liberty Beach, Curious and Silver Spear. Next behind those was Rapid Reaction. You're So Beautiful was next in front of Keamara, Alligator Alley, and last to finish was Ali. Well, it goes to number 5 in your card, Glass Slippers, who was bred by Brer Stone Stud in Shropshire. He's a Group 3 winner, won the Abbey, was chasing home, as Ted and Jane said beforehand, Batash in the King's Stand and in the Qatar Stakes. Well, got a clear run today, and the Daughter of Dream Ahead for Tommy Eves and Kevin Ryan has taken the Flying 5.
Number 7. I can finish there.
Number 2 was
dominated by the fillies as predicted. Everything happened on the far side. The filly Kia Moro broke real quick, but Glass Slippers had to be very tough because Ryan Moore in the black and white colours, I thought he was all over a winner from midway for John Quinn, but Glass Slippers gets the far side rail in the fluffy noseband. Some horses have run on from behind. Sonalia, the grey filly, has run on for pressure under Billy Lee to snatch third in the closing stages, but this stage it looked like Ryan was coming with a winning run, but Glass Slippers, she's the Prix de l'Abway winner, she's the former Group 1 winner in here, and the mayor's putting the colts in their place.
Yeah, Make a Challenge never got in a blow. Drawn 14 here over on this side. All the speed was on the far side. He never got in a blow really at that there. The winner has won, kept going well. She's a Prix de l'Abbe winner, which is a huge thing this time of the year. in 3 weeks' time, the Arc, she'll probably go back there again for that. Not much to choose. A blanket there, 5 or 6 horses, but that's what you expect in the sprints. They've been batting behind Batash all year, not good enough for him. And it just goes to show, like, other than Paddy Toomey's filly, who was ridden to run really well, and she did a fair call by them, third in a Group 1 for that filly. What an addition that'll be to her now, Sonalia. But she's been improving all the way along the line. But the speed was all those English horses.
The English horses, that's the line, and Batash is the line of form, right? So, I mean, look, if you just want to study, I mean, Make a Challenge, we've been talking up Make a Challenge and Dennis Hogan, the job he's done with him, and it has been great here, but it has been here, and you have to put it in that context, right?
Yeah, but I think maybe he ran very well in the British Champion Sprint on an easy ground at Ascot, and I'd imagine if he had a better draw here, he might have finished closer. He has run well.
Yeah.
I'd say he's a horse that when the rain comes, it'll suit him and it'll inconvenience some of the others as well. There could be still a Group 1 in him in the autumn. I wouldn't write him off.
Absolutely, as I say, yeah, you know, it was a difficult draw.
Ali was the main disappointment. He was beaten after 2 furlongs. You could see Colin Keane's body language. He wasn't happy, but there was a lot of numerical horses in this, but in the closing stage, it was all about the main 2, Keep Busy and the winner, Glass Slippers.
Saw a few of the jockeys obviously walking the track earlier on today, so they obviously decided that was the side to come up on.
Well, having watched the first race, that's where the winners came in the first race, and they decided that was it. And the stalls were over there, the stalls were in the middle, but they decided to go that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you're drawn wide like Make a Challenge was, then you're really up against it. But there's your winner, Glass Slippers. Worth the journey over from England, and as you said, that line of form with Batash, who's been absolutely brilliant all season. I remember go back to Royal Ascot and the question marks over would he actually go and win there, having hit the crossbar a good few times, did so, and he hasn't looked back since, and he's the top sprint, he's the king around town.
It's a pity he didn't come.
It is a pity, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I'd love to see him in the flesh, I have to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Sheik Hamdan having such a great interest in the Irish studs as well, too, it's just a pity he didn't come. Can understand why with the present climate and that kind of thing. He's a tricky devil, and the grooms couldn't come with him. They'd have to hand him over to somebody else and that, so all takes into account.
That's fair enough.
I'd imagine had he been declared, there wouldn't have been 15 in this race either. There's horses trying to avoid him all year, and to be fair to Kevin Ryan, he said in the paper today that this filly bypassed Haydock and she bypassed the Nunthorpe with this race in mind, so obviously a plan well executed. And by
a good fast horse himself, Dream Ahead, he won a July Cup. I think Haley Turner win on it.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
But fast every step of the way.
Right, there is our winner, our first race on the cards. 5 furlong sprint, the Flying 5 as it is known. The 3:10 here at the Curragh. Glass Slippers at 9-2. Your winner, Keep Busy, in second at 18-1. Sonalia for Paddy Toomey, as Ted said, run an absolute cracker with Billy Lee on board at 11-1, and Made in India is the 4th place on our first race. Okay, we've got a break to take. We've got plenty more of Group 1s coming your way.
Pretty Gorgeous is number 8 for Joseph O'Brien, the lawman, filling in the colours of John Oxley. Declan McDonough riding, of course, it would have been the ride of Shane Cross. So we're thinking of you, Shane. You'll be back before too long. She's a real talented filly. 11-10 favourite, Teresa Mendoza. It'd be great to get a chat with Ken Condon, hopefully, in the minute. He's had a wonderful season. One of 2 fillies in the race for Kenny. Also runs Thunder Beauty, but Teresa Mendoza, the mount of Billy Lee, was good the first time. Didn't lose too much in defeat last time either. 4-1 shot. Shale, number 9 for Donnacha O'Brien. Galilea, Homecoming Queen. That is breed the best to the best and hope for the best. 5-1. Mother Earth is 15-2, and it's 14-1, Bob. This is all quality. Pretty Gorgeous, 11-10 favourite for the Myglaire. Yes, thank you, Hugh. He's had a great season. Ken Condon horse.
Colours of John Oxley. Look, Joseph has won the race with Intricately. He rode the winner of the race with Maybe. This is a race he knows very well. She was a €55,000 purchase as a foal. She made 525,000 guineas as a yearling, so somebody did quite well out of her already. And as Ted said, when she won her maiden at Bellewstown, she was awesome, and she got beaten next starts on quick ground, but she stepped forward at the debutante. She's a big, imposing filly, a very good looker, and she's very exciting for everybody. But this is a competitive race, Ted. There's a lot more in it.
Oh, there is. I mean, Shale, who has beaten her and got beaten by her, number 9 is a big shout here. She had quite a number. She had Una Data and Pretty Gorgeous and Snowfall all behind her when she won the Silver Flash. There is Shale. Ryan Moorreiser for the son of the great man.
Yeah, he had a tough day yesterday, Ted, right?
Huh?
He had a tough day yesterday.
Yeah, it's always a tough day when you make the wrong decisions, like a fella kicking should score a penalty and it goes over the bar. Those things happen, but he's a big boy. He's well able to put up with it. Just surprising for me that he didn't go for Magical over Japan,
yeah.
the way Japan was running. But anyway, You only have decisions to make him, and that was it.
Or they didn't go for Peaceful over Fancy Blue, which also finished
And I didn't mind that so much now. I couldn't just make out the other one in my own mind. There's Mother Earth.
Mother Earth was behind a couple of these horses before, so she won the fillies sprint stakes at an ace over 6, beating Sussex Garden, but was a well-beaten third behind Pretty Gorgeous and Shale in the debutante. She's going to have to step forward. That's Una Data in your shot there, the green and blue colours, the Jessica Harrington. Now, she beat a Marlborough Hill winner on debut, Minon, in a maiden at Leopardstown. Now, I think we can excuse her effort behind Shale in the Silver Flash, because she got a bump at the early part of that race and didn't get knocked about by Shane Foley.
Nice to see all the people standing at the rail there and having a look in. A great racing area around here, Kildare and Newbridge. A lot of people around with the families working on the current, working and racing, come over to get a look at them. And for kids as well, too, a bit of excitement there with the stalls. Richard, they look like they're ready to roll.
And they are rolling. 12 months ago it was Love. Now they're racing in the Moyglare Stud Stakes, and Eleonora gets away smartly right up there too through the early part. Over on the far side is Snowfall. Pretty Gorgeous is just racing in behind Mother Earth, who's tacking over a little bit to take a more prominent position. Star Image is prominent. Shale has a good prominent position. Divinely's just behind them. Udna Data's racing up on the outside. Pretty Gorgeous just running out of room there. Anti-Bridie trying to go through Udna Data and Pretty Gorgeous, but up front and gun clear it is about a length and a half. Mother Earth leads from Snowfall, the far side of Star Image, and Shale has a good prominent position. Udna Data's just outside, then Divinely. Just the yellow jacket of Anti-Bridie's on the outside of Pretty Gorgeous. Then towards the inside, Eleonora. Amakar is next with Bubbles and Ice, Teresa Mendoza and Thunder Beauty, the stable companions of the back pair. They continue to make their way on now towards the 3. Mother Earth leads from Snowfall, the far side. Then just behind this Star Image. Being asked for an effort now is Shale. Udna Data goes well. Anti-Bridie is next. Pretty Gorgeous. Just Declan McDonough getting a little lower the saddle. Star Image is running a big race. Divinely is next. Mother Earth, now Shale is picking up. Pretty Gorgeous coming to challenge the near side. Udna Data and Anti-Bridie wider again. Far side is Snowfall, and it's Shale and Pretty Gorgeous going at it again. Udna Data's back in third. Thunder Beauty staying on from the back, and Pretty Gorgeous gets to the front. Shale is on the far side. Udna Data, Bubbles and Ice comes home well, but it's Pretty Gorgeous on the near side. Shale is rallying back the far side. Two top fillies go to the line together, and Shale might get the upper hand this time. It is Shale who beats Pretty Gorgeous. Udna Data, Bubbles on Ice and Thunder Beauty. Next up behind these was Anti-Bridie, Amakar, Divinely, and then came Snowfall, Teresa Mendoza. Mother Earth was in front of Eleonora, and the final one to go by was Star Image. Well, they've had good old battles before, but it goes to number 9 in your card, which is Shale. She is by Galileo. She is out of a 4 times winner and a 4th in the Irish Guineas, and she is from the family of Dylan Thomas. She took the Silver Flash. She was second to Pretty Gorgeous at the Curragh. We questioned whether the ground made a difference on that occasion. Well, she's back in front again. Shale has won it, and Ryan Moore has a Group 1. Donica took this one twice as a rider. He now has it as a trainer.
I'll tell you, 24 hours later, and Ryan Moore back in the winners' enclosure, no problem. Ted, they're 2 good ones, though.
Yeah, ground the big factor. When Shale got beat, even in her first run, the ground was too soft for her. She's definitely a mare that loves a bit of good ground. Pretty Gorgeous handles both types of ground, but it's definitely a hindrance to this mare because she's come out on top and well on top. You just think at this stage here, the yellow colours, when Declan McDonough produced on the outside of Ryan Moore, that she was going to take her. And you'd say there, Pretty Gorgeous is just about to go to Ryan Moore's hard at work. Declan hasn't gone for the body yet, gets a few tears into her, puts them into his left hand, another smack, you say here. But Ryan's filly gets down to the job and beats her well at the line. Closer they get to the line, the more daylight she puts between herself and Pretty Gorgeous, and she's held her well at the line.
2 for the 1,000 guineas next season, maybe, Jane?
She was ultra tough, and 2 sons of Aidan O'Brien dominating this division this year. Shale and Pretty Gorgeous, 2 awesome fillies, and we remember Shale's mother, Homecoming Queen, being ultra tough in a Newmarket 1,000 guineas. Well, she's inherited that tough as teak ability, and we saw yesterday Magical becoming only the 2nd horse ever to win the Champion Stakes for a 2nd time. Well, Dylan Thomas was the first horse to do it, and that is this filly's uncle. So it's all intertwined. The family and the blood is there, but Ryan Moore, he had a tough day yesterday, but he's a tough man, and he'll appreciate that. This is a big day today, and a great way to start it for him.
It is a great way to start him for Ryan Moore as well, and for trainer Donica O'Brien, who's down with Brian.
Donncha O'Brien, many congratulations. She is beautifully bred, as I said before, and breed the best, to the best, and hope for the best, and she is good.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. She was very tough today. I think she was one of the first ones off the bridle. I thought she wasn't going to do anything there at halfway, but she toughed it out very well, so no, delighted with her.
Were you confident coming racing that you'd beat your brother's filly?
I wasn't. She was very good the last day. The ground was a little bit more in our favour today, but they're two very good fillies, and I look forward to more battles in the future.
Where are we going with her now?
We've probably either the Marcel Boussac or the Feliz Mile in Newmarket, probably one of them. I'll speak to the owners and see what they want to do.
Can you see her as more of a Guineas filly or an Oaks filly?
Possibly both. I think she has speed for a mile, and look, being by Galileo, you think that she could stay a mile and a half. So look, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but look, we'll enjoy today.
And reflections on yesterday, how was the good filly, Fancy Blue?
Yeah, she's good. She's in good form. I probably shouldn't have ran her when the ground went quick. I was expecting it to be softer yielding, but I thought she ran very well considering, and no, she's in good form.
And we'll see her what in Longchamp?
Possibly, yes.
And one final question. What does Donncha O'Brien like in the Comer St. Ledger?
Oh, God, I didn't have much
What
to
about
look
your
at
dad's
it,
horse, Sovereign?
Yeah, he's a very good horse. He looks to be the class horse in the field, so he looked to have a big chance.
Enjoy your winner, Donncha. Well done.
Thanks very much, Brian. Thank you.
Well, from one good filly to another turn now, I can tell you, it's just won the Group 1 for Dermot Weld in France. So there we go.
Cayenne Pepper.
And Cayenne Pepper here.
Stood up.
It's the day of the fillies, huh?
Lucky Vega, when he won his maiden at Naas, he beat Lipizzaner. He was tough on that occasion. He was second when he missed the break out of the railway, but he made no mistake in the Phoenix. He was quick. He showed a great turn of foot. This is his first try at 7 furlongs, but he's a son of Lope de Vega out of the Cape Cross mare. I don't see that being a problem. It could even improve him. From a top combination, he deserves the favourites tag.
7-4. This is number 7, Ted, Master of the Seas.
Yeah, Master of the Seas. We saw the rerun him there when he won at Newmarket. He's a good colt. He's coming from a powerful operation, and what we saw him do, he did it well. This is his biggest challenge. He's a gorgeous looking horse, lovely way of racing. When Willie Buick gave him the office to go, he got down, ran in a straight line like a horse to do. And if he's anything like Pinatubo, he'll give it up to Lucky Vega, but you don't get them too often.
No, you don't.
Grand colt.
Yeah.
Thunder Moon might only have one run to his name, but he also won a barrier trial at Dundalk in July before he came here with a reputation and impressively won a maiden from Colour Sergeant. He was subsequently bought by Mrs. Chantel Regalado Gonzalez and her partner John Morell. They have 2 runners in this race, as well as Charterhouse, but this guy, he's very, very impressive on his maiden and is full of potential.
This is St. Mark's Basilica. He ran behind Lucky Vega here the last day, and he's a bit of ground to make up on him. Wasn't beaten that far, beaten maybe 4.5, 5 lengths, which is not an awful lot of distance. But you'd imagine that their Battleground was their #1 choice, and he's a non-runner here. Ryan switches to this fella. Easy going, all horse, strolls around there. He's not strolling, we're in slow motion there now. He's not going as slow as that. He's a better walker than that. Now, slow motion doesn't really do much to horses, does it? I think he was a donkey walking.
Yeah.
This is Laws of Indices. This was a very inexpensive yearling, only €8,000 when bought by Mrs. Holmes. But to be fair, this guy won an auction maiden at Navan in June and has continued that upward trajectory. Won the Railway Stakes, beating Lucky Vega, and was 4th behind Lucky Vega in the Phoenix when he missed the start. That was an awkward start. If he can get his act together at the start today, he flew home on that occasion, and you can expect him to be a little bit closer to Lucky Vega today. Billy Lee on board, maybe a good each-way shout for somebody looking for value.
What was he, 50 to 1 when he won the Railway or something like that? Something crazy.
He was huge.
Wasn't he?
Yes.
Massive price. Massive price. Not as big as that today, but it's still worth it in each way.
And there we have number 5. We heard Kevin Manning talk to Brian a few moments ago. This fella has a shout. Jim's horses always have a shout. They know their job and everything else. But he's held by Wembley on the last run, and he beat Wembley, but not much. Gutsy. Hard to see him on what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But with Battleground out of it now, he could easily run into the money. Jim's horses tend to keep on improving. Whatever he is about him, he's able to get to sustain that ability right through. Military Style there.
Military Style won his maiden impressive at Naas in June, beat Eastern Voice and Neck, and Shamie Heffernan now switches onto this horse, was the intended mount of Emmett McNamara before all the changes came around. He went out at Leopardstown in the Tyros Stakes and made all the running, beating his better fancied stablemate Van Gogh, a very tough as teak performance. And to be fair, Van Gogh stood up the form yesterday at Leopardstown in the Group 2. That form is working out well. This is a tough horse. Might go from the front again today. He's drawn 2.
20-1 is a big price for him, is it not?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Well,
is a
you
tough
couldn't,
race.
yeah.
This is a tough race.
You couldn't if he's 20-1.
I wouldn't. I've given up. I've given up, Ted.
Nice relaxed horses walk around down there to start.
This race always throws up a good like.
Does.
When you consider, I think since 2000, 6 Guineas winners have come out of this race,
Right.
and 2 Derby winners.
That's a fair form line, isn't it?
Actually, 1 Derby winner. Sindar was before 2000, but was he? Was he before 2000? He was 99 2000.
Would have been 99, I think. We just looked it up there. He was born in 97, so 2-year-old, 99.
Yes, correct.
There you
Well, it's a good horse either way. They're good names, and if you can follow in the footsteps or hoofprints of Sindar and New Approach, you'll be doing quite well. That's Charterhouse. That's John Murphy's horse. The second colours of Mrs. Chantal Regalado Gonzalez. This horse ran huge on debut, and then got beaten by what was a very good horse off the top of my head, I can't think, but he was a maiden winner last time at the Curragh, having ran very well in stakes company. He was actually beaten by Mason, who reopposes on debut, and then he was 4th to Military Style and Mason in the Tyros. So his form is very, very much interlinked with these horses in opposition here.
Lucky Vegas drifting there. 2-1 now, Master of Sea, so they can't separate them on the betting. 2-1, the pair of them.
It's very hard to get a handle on Master of the Seas and Thunder Moon, though. They're very unexposed. Whereas we've seen the other horses. We've seen Lucky Vega 3 times, and we can try and get a handle on him. Don't think we've mentioned that horse. That is Wembley. Wembley's had a couple of very solid efforts, very consistent, and he finally got his head in front at Roscommon last time. Thought he was going to win his maiden here one day at the Curragh, and he just got worried out of it. So he's got a horse that's officially rated 92. To compete with the likes of Master of the Seas, who's 112, he's going to have to improve markedly.
Yeah, but whenever Wembley had finished, you'd imagine Max Sweeney won't be far away from. There's only a half length between them there. When
In the
they ran
maiden,
to.
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Those were 2-year-olds as well. Just as a general point, we kind of talk about the juveniles. Just, sometimes it's just about which one, where the penny drops first, like if they just get the handle of racing and get the handle of actually wanting to go and win a race as well, as much as anything else.
Yeah, we often see horses win on debut or be impressive in their maiden, and they don't continue to progress. That's what you can't predict how much a horse is going to step forward. And Jim Bulger and Jackie Bulger, those colours in this race, they've won it with the likes of Teofilo, New Approach, Dawn Approach. They're serious horses, and I remember when this horse won the Futurity, they touted him as their Derby horse.
Right.
We'll find out today.
I must say, looking down there, the racing people are doing a great job keeping their distance and doing everything they can. Them old masks are a funny old thing, but you have to wear them. Everyone around, I know there's not a lot of people here, but everyone is doing that. And all our own staff here too with RTE, masks and everybody. For any of you that have, I'm sure most people have worn them now, they're a right bloody nuisance.
Well, people tell me I look better with a masthead.
They probably do.
One of the few.
Yeah.
Where is the pace here? Probably Wembley, is it? Gate 10? No, Military Style, Gate 2.
Military Style.
Made the
Military
pace
Style
in the
would probably
Tyros.
make it, yeah?
Yes, I would imagine. And the protagonist, Master of the Sea, is going to break
And we
the
have
stall
seen
9.
Aidan O'Brien horses set out to make it, set a very frantic pace
And
before
stay there.
and stay there. So at 20-1, I tell you, like a 2-1, you can't separate the front two. A 20-1 Military Style, if he does set out well and sets a fair old gallop, then it might be worth €1 each way. But
I hope we get a good performance here from something outstanding. I mean, anyone would be glad to win it, but you'd love to see something that you said to yourself next year, he could be the horse for next year.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd look it to be one of the Lucky Vega, but I mean, you'd love to see something just quicken up there, a furlong down and win 3 or 4 lengths, like we saw Pinatubo last year, and say we saw something special.
hey, do you know the jockeys? The championship title is getting a little bit interesting now.
Big closer,
Shane Foley's had
Colin
the gap-
Keane is
the
etching
gap is
away at
closed.
Shane
What's
Foley.
between them?
There's 12.
12 between them. Richard Pugh, let's
There we
go.
are, Richard.
Here we go for the Goffs. Vincent O'Brien, National Stakes, Group 1 contest over 7 furlongs. Oh, we're in trouble. One's gone out over the top. It looks as though, is it Mason? It is. Looks as though Mason, Colin Keane and Ger Lyons. Colin has just stepped off onto the bar beside Mason. The stall handler is in quickly. Not sure if any harm is done there. He went up Just got a little bit upset in stall number 3 there. We're just waiting to see, will Collins step back in onto Mason, or will they reverse Mason out and withdraw? This happened to Siskin last year when he went to England. He got a little bit upset in the stalls. It can be most disappointing when you've got this far. This even beats falling at the first in a national hunt race. You're in the stalls, you're ready to find out where you slot into the 2-year-old bracket, and there number 6 Mason has been taken out, and I wouldn't be surprised if they'll do one of two things now. They'll either trot up Mason to see if he's okay, or if Colin is happy that not much happened in there, they might just reload him and allow him to go. He may be withdrawn, he may be overseen, but yeah, we're going to trot him up there. There's a vet at the post going to make sure that he's okay, and if they're happy with what they see there, Mason will rejoin them. It's obviously not ideal for a 2-year-old to get that little bit upset just before an event as big as this. Mason, of course, from the family of Dancilli and Champs-Élysées, was 3rd in the Tyros last time behind Military Style. Would have been another of those that provide depth. That's encouraging. Colin Keane is getting back aboard Mason. He's only doing that for one reason, because he's going to go back into stall number 3. The colt by Kingman, who was so impressive here when he was here at the Curragh and the Guineas, is gone forward. No problems there, and we are now ready to go at the 10R Racing, and Wembley won't be making the running. He's lost away, and McSweeney, Kevin Manning is keen to get him forward, and another one a little bit slow, St. Mark's Basilica. Mason is quickly away and running a little keen. He just might be thinking about all of this. Military Style is right over on the far side. Charterhouse, Lucky Vegas just in behind the leading group of 3. Thunder Moons and the red cap the far side. Master of the Seas is just behind McSweeney, who in fairness to Kevin Manning, he's got him right back up into a good position. So now it's Military Style, Mason, and then comes Charterhouse, and towards the outside is McSweeney, who's being tracked by Master of the Seas. Lucky Vegas just inside this one. Then Thunder Moon, Laws of Indices towards the back with Wembley, and they're being followed just towards the outside by St. Mark's Basilica. Now the mount of Ryan Moore, of course. So it's Military Style and Shamie Heffernan who leads them along. He's won this race twice before. Mason is 2nd. Charterhouse is 3rd. McSweeney's over on the near side. Kevin Manning bidding for a 5th success. Thunder Moon's on the rail. Then Master of the Seas, the blue jacket, and Lucky Vegas just inside. They spare keep company. St. Mark's Basilica takes the lead from them. Laws of Indices and Wembley are last, making their way on now towards the 2, and it's Mason who still goes well in front. McSweeney's asked for effort. Master of the Seas is trying to pick up. Lucky Vegas waiting for the split between Charterhouse and McSweeney. It's not coming. Master of the Seas with the advantage. Lucky Vegas got absolutely no room. McSweeney's keeping him in. Oh, no chance. Lucky Vega, chance gone. And St. Mark's Basilica's coming on the near side of Master of the Seas. It's Master of the Seas, the far side, near side St. Mark's Basilica. Little between them, and on the far side coming home well is Thunder Moon, who's flashing home the far side. Thunder Moon is going to take it from the wall. St. Mark's Basilica's 2nd. Wembley came from last to 3rd. They were followed in by Master of the Seas. Lucky Vega right that off. He was absolutely hampered midway up the straight, and they were followed in by Charterhouse, and then back to Military Style, McSilly, Laws of Indices, and Mason, who was upset in the stalls, is the last one to go by. Well, Thunder Moon, Declan McDonough, he last won this race back in 2009. That was on Kingsford for Kevin Prendergast. He's won here on the Joseph O'Brien trained colt by Zoffany. Thunder Moon, and didn't he swoop through on the inside with real speed?
Flew home like a rocket.
Pace, pace, pace. He was down the rail, the red cap, just in the box seat, and he needed to wait for the gaps to open. Military Style in the navy colours is going to give way. Mason travels really well in the pink cap, and it's all about to happen down the outside. The blue colours of William Buick, he's going to keep it good and tight. McSweeney's off the bridle in the yellow, and Lucky Vega, the white cap in the centre. He has no luck. Off the rail now, the red cap has come off the rail. Declan McDonough is trying to find his way through. Lucky Vega has no fortune in running here. Charterhouse has run huge in the same colours as the winner, as St. Mark's Basilica and Wembley fly down the outside, but he quickens up there, Ted. That was a good performance.
It was a good performance. Nice to see the head on now. Great for Declan McDonough. Just got beaten the Mike Lera less than half an hour ago. He's won a grade 1 here. This horse quickened up really well. He had a rough old passage too. He had to fight his corner out. We'll get a look at the head on soon there and see where all the problems came from. Lucky Vega had no sort of run. The Appleby horse got a grand clear run on the outside, no problems with him. Declan had to fight for his corner a bit. It was tight, but you expect them all to keep tight. I just wonder, we'll get a look at it now again and maybe the head on and see what happens. This horse won really well, quickened up well. See him, he's the red cap on the inside, behind the horse in navy colours there, Military Style, and you have the Abdullah colours in pink and Mason, 2 from the right of your picture there. In the centre is Charterhouse. You have McSweeney there with the whitish colours, and you have the Golfin horse in the blue, and on way outside is Basilica. But they're all edging out here. Declan has to fight his corner a bit. He has to fight his corner, otherwise he's going to get mangled, and he gets a run through, and I don't know, there might be an inquiry into a bit of scrimmaging, but there'll be no change one way or the other. Winner has won really well. He slipped up the inside, hat down the neck, nice for Declan. And St. Mark's Basilica has run a good race as well too. He's a good horse, this fella, done it well. Showed a grand turn of foot.
You like to see that turn of foot, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, you'd like to see that, just, you know, when you say go, the horse responds.
That's
brilliant,
class.
isn't it?
And I know you have to be tough and you have to grind it out and you have to be all those things, but if you're going to set yourself apart from the field, that's what he did. He quickened. There was horses coming home strong from off the pace, but this horse, he was just behind the leaders. He was ridden with a lot of confidence. He needed to get the gaps, but he made his own way out and he wasn't found wanting. I'd say
we might get a look at that again and see, do we all agree that Lucky Vega was unlucky? But he didn't spurt when he did get out. Like, you know, he had a rough old passage.
Yeah, if you're waiting for the split to come and it just doesn't come, like, that's the gamble you take, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You know.
Well, like, where there isn't lanes out there, you have to ride your race, and sometimes it just doesn't fall your way. But that's the nature of the game. And Max Swinney didn't. He was a horse that didn't travel in the white colours, and William Buick knows that, and Master of the Season the outside, and he knows he wants to keep everybody nice and tight in the inside because he's a clear run down the outside. The white cap with the green colours in the centre, that is Lucky Vega. Just watch him now. White colours, keeping him tight. William Buick, does he come across a little bit? I think it's more a combination of the red colours coming out, that concertina effect from the inside. The horses were tight, they end up quite spread out. And look, it was a winning manoeuvre, but the stewards might have a little look.
Winners won well. He had to weave his way, get around them, got a good run through.
They have called a stewards' inquiry, by the way, but...
no, actually, some days they do. They called to street yesterday and there was nothing happening at all.
Yeah.
It's like this, if you have to do what's best for your horse, and in the manoeuvre and in the moment, that was the race-winning move.
Andrea Azzini, Roger Varian, the Ebor winner at York last time. 3, Micromanage, the little bit of the unknown quantity. How good is he? But he's trained by a man who knows what it takes. William Mullins won at Wicklow Brave. Micromanage, could he win this? En route to the Cheltenham Festival. Stranger things have happened. Colin Keane on board. 4 is the outsider. For the sponsor, Luke Combs, Ratall, Chris Hayes. 5, Sovereign, the Irish Derby winner. 33-1 Irish Derby winner. Ryan Moore riding for Aidan O'Brien. 6, Twilight Payment, Tongue Strap, Cheek Pieces. Wayne Lorden, but he's trained by Joseph O'Brien. He was 7th in the race last year. He's the oldest horse in the race at 7. 7, Search for a Song, who, of course, the full sister was 2nd in the Blandfords earlier on this afternoon. Oisin, the Donegal man, riding for Dermot Weld. And 8, Passion, the only 3-year-old in the field. She's been busy all season, but that Cork form is becoming more and more sweeter. Shamie Heffernan, riding Passion, 8 for the Irish St. Ledger. Andrea Azzini, you almost won the English Ledger yesterday, beaten a neck by Joseph O'Brien's horse Galileo Chrome. You're riding Fujairah Prince for Roger Varian. Must have a real big chance.
Yeah, he's a horse that is very lightly raced for a 6-year-old. He was obviously very impressive at Ascot, and he won the Ebor quite cosily on at York. So it's obviously a big step up in grade from a handicap into Group 1 level, but I'm sure he's entitled to take his chance. I think a 1.6 round the Curragh should suit him, and we're very hopeful.
Oisin, 23 years of age, the man from Donegal, riding in the St. Ledger, aboard last year's winner, Search for a Song.
Yeah, it's great to get the opportunity to get on her. Look, she won it well last year, and we're hoping for a big run this year too.
Like, our preparation this year, our first 2 runs, 6 and a P, wouldn't inspire confidence, but if you delve a bit more, there was legitimate excuses. You pulled her up in Cork because she slipped passing the stands.
Yeah, exactly. Her first run of the year, she needed it, and the last hour in Cork, she just slipped up in the bend, and I eased her down because in case anything was wrong. But look, she pleased us in her run the last day, finishing 3rd over. But she's stepping up in trip today, so it'll definitely be a big help.
The oldest horse in the race in the Ledger is Twilight Payment, steered by Wayne Lorden. Any encouragement, Wayne?
Yeah, he's been doing nothing wrong all year. He's been winning well. He has to step up today, I think. But look, he's a horse that stays very well, and he's very tough and genuine.
He was well beaten in it last year, though. Is there a reason why he should win a Ledger?
No, his form has stepped forward from last year, I think. And, you know, as I said, he has to step forward again. Sovereign is the one that his form is standing out, so he's the one we probably have to beat.
He's a horse that sometimes it takes a bit of time for him to get over these races. So we usually trying to give him quite a big gap between his runs. So we were looking at obviously at the staying race on Champions Day at Ascot, but because he came out the race so well and his own work has been really good, so obviously Roger and Sheikh Mohammed Way, the boss, decided to have a go at the Irish Leger.
Hopefully both are coming off good enough campaigns that they can be competitive down there.
Is there one horse for the National Hunt season for RT viewers? Will he back at Fairyhouse for the Hatton's Craze, the Renmo, the Royal Bond? Is there one that David Casey can enlighten the RT viewers?
I like this fella, Micromanage, and I think we've got a very good bumper horse called Deploy the Getaway.
What's it called again?
Deploy the Getaway. Won a point I think for Colin Bowe, so we like him a lot.
Oh, so
Sovereign
that's right.
won't be a 33-1 shot today. He's going to carry the first colours of the Navy. That's Passion going down last. That is Sovereign.
There we go.
At the very start of this season, we hadn't seen him since he won the Derby, and he came back and they dropped him in to try and get him to relax, because you can't wear your heart on your sleeve every day and win. And he didn't settle. So over a mile and 6-8 runners, they might try and drop him in, but we'll have to see if he does it.
Okay, let's have a look at our favourite, anyway. It was at least 5 minutes ago.
This horse is an impressive looking physical. He's a tall, grey horse. He's won 5 of his 8 starts, a very good strike rate. He won a handicap at Royal Ascot, one of those new races, and then he went and obviously won the Ebor, having raced prominently. No English horse has won this since Brown Panther in 2014, but he's a lively horse. He's a horse that gave a lot of weight away in a very competitive handicap last time, and while this is a Group 1, it's a different test, but it's good to have him here.
Michael Owen's horse, the great Brown Panther.
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah.
There is Search for a Song. No, Sovereign, that is. That's Sovereign. We saw him in the King George. There was only 3 runners there. He bowled along in front, and an Abel picked him up and beat him easily enough. He'd probably make the running. I'd say he will, because if he gets in front and gets settled, that's it. He'll either do one or the other. He'll either make the run or drop in last. They'll probably have a chat about the start and see if somebody's hell-bent in making it. He'll know what's going to happen anyway, because the other horses that usually makes a twilight payment is from the O'Brien camp as well, so they'll have an idea of what's going to happen before the stalls open.
And that is Twilight Payment, wearing the cheek pieces. He's now a 7-year-old. He's won 7 of his 29 starts. He's been a brilliant servant for both connections. He was originally with Jim and Jackie Bulger. He's now obviously running the colours of Lloyd Williams for Joseph O'Brien, and he's won his last 2 starts. He won the Vintage Crop, beating Barbados, and he won the Curragh Cup, a race he'd won last year when he beat Master of Reality by 8 lengths this year, having made the running. Wayne Lorden, a great partner for him all year, and he's sure to run his race. He's a very, very consistent horse.
Could he be heading to Melbourne? Probably could. There's your mare, Jane.
Yeah, this is Search for a Song. She's not a petite filly, but she's narrow. She's a light-framed filly. She's got a hood on for a reason, because she can be quite fiery. Oisin is going to have to try and get her to relax and breathe and run her race. But she was a very good winner of this race last year. Should not be overlooked, taken very seriously, coming from these quarters, who's done so well in this race before. There's been repeat winners of this race: Vintage Crop, Oscar Schindler, Cave Tara and Vinnie Rowe. She's bidding to join those names.
There's Micromanage. David Casey just said a few words there to Brian about him. He was bred locally, Carol and Peter Henley, just over there between here and Kilcullen, not too far away. He was bought worth the money by Peter Doyle and went down to Willie's and won a 2-year-old with no less than Rachel Blackmore riding him. And then he was missing for a long time, and Donnacha O'Brien rode him when he won a handicap and a canter here last year and one other run. He obviously gives his old problems, but he's a quality horse.
And here is Passion, the only 3-year-old in the lineup. She's won 2 of her 9 starts. She's a full sister to Capri, who's obviously an Irish Derby winner. And to be fair to this filly, she's on an upward trajectory. Her run in the Irish Oaks was very good, and she was very good over a mile and 6 last time. Shamie Heffernan rides her. She's officially rated 107, so she has a bit to find, £10 to find, in fact, with Sovereign. But I wouldn't put it beyond the realms of possibility that she'll run a very big race.
That's Barbados, probably the outsider of the bunch. He has good runs under his belt as well too. Jockey in great fettle and yard in great order. Jesse's horse is running well. He's entitled to take his chances, prize money right down along the line. It's good to see 7 or 8 runners in it, and it's great that the Cormac Group came in to sponsor this race, because this race was slowly dying a death until they opened it up to older horses, and that's a good few years ago now, and it's been won by some very good horses. staying horses over the years.
If you're going for a pick of the paddock, this horse is huge. Sea to Stars, Ray Tall. He's a very, very imposing individual. He won a Group 2 in Germany last year for Luke Comer, beating Thomas Hobson of Willie Mullins's, but he'll have to refine that form. He was last seen when he was third behind Twilight Payment in the Curragh Cup in June 2019. So this is his first start of 2020. He was formerly trained by John Gosden, and he runs in the colours of the sponsor, Luke Comer.
125 to 1. As the loading continues, there's the latest. Sovereign now 5-2 favourite. Would you look at that, Jane?
That's your money. That's your money. Best of luck if you're involved.
Somebody agrees with me. It's not Ted and Jane anyway, but somebody does. Do credit for him. Off we go.
Racing for the final classic of the year, the Comer Group International Irish St. Leger. Fujara Prince is going to take them along through the early part with Twilight Payment up on the outside. Towards the inside is Sovereign, and Passion is just next on the inside in the pink jacket. Micromanage with Barbados Ra'atal is last but one. And just watch Search for a Song, who is tucked in last on the inside, and certainly for the early furlong has seemed to settle significantly better than last year. Yoshinor will be keen to keep a lid on her towards the inside with a little bit of cover courtesy of Micromanage. But now going on, and having sweated up a little, Sovereign has the advantage under Ryan Moore from Fujara Prince and Andrea Azzeni. They're being followed towards the outside by Twilight Payment, Wayne Lorden aboard. Towards the inside is Passion and Shamie Heffernan. They're the 1, 2, 3, 4. Micromanage sits 5, but towards this one's outside Barbados. Search for a Song just needs that cover. Ushinor has a handle on her, but she would, if she looks as though she got light, she'd like to go a shade quicker. Ra'atal is last of all. Amount of Chris Hayes, who won this last year on Search for a Song. So now they begin to make their way on towards the mile pole in short, and it's Sovereign and Ryan Moore who won this race back in 2017 and 18 in Order of St. George and Flag of Honour. Towards the outside, the grey in the yellow jacket, Fujari Prince. Next up towards the inside is Passion and Shamie Heffernan. He won this in 2008 on Septimus. They're the leading trio, being followed by Twilight Payment, who's next for Wayne Lorden and Joseph O'Brien. Joseph won this as a rider in 2015 in Order of St. George, bidding to take it now as a trainer. Just behind them is Micromanage and Willie Mullins charge. He won it with Wicklow Brave. Then towards the inside is Search for a Song. Dermot Weld, 8 successes in the race. Vincent O'Brien won it 9. He could equal that record. Behind them is Barbados for Shane Foley and Jessica Harrington, and last of all is Ra'atal for Chris Hayes and the sponsor Luke Comer. So now they begin to race towards the highest point. They've about 6 furlongs left to race. And Sovereign keen to go along forward in front from Fujara Prince. Then the cheek piece Twilight Payment. Just towards the inside is Passion. They're being followed by Micromanage, and still Search for a Song is getting a good run through on the inside. And then towards the outside is Barbados, and they're getting away from the wide outsider, which is Ra'atal. So now they begin to swing down the hill and make their way on towards the half-mile pole. And out in front towards the inside, it's Sovereign. The centre, Fujara Prince. Towards the outside, Twilight Payment. The trio tracked by Passion. Next up, Micromanage. Search for a Song's on the inside of Barbados, and they're clear. Now they begin the turn in towards home in the final classic of the year. They've a little over 3 furlongs to race. Fujara Prince to the front. Twilight Payment's asked to pick up. Sovereign's ridden. Passion's just behind them, and they're being chased by Micromanage. Now Search for a Song is asked to go forward and needs a split, but that'll come. It's Fujara Prince who's gone to the front, being chased by Twilight Payment. Sovereign's dropped off. Search for a Song's coming strongly now, and over on the near side is Micromanage, but it's Fujara Prince who holds the advantage from Twilight Payment in the centre. Search for a Song still comes home well the near side. Just over a furlong left to go in the Comer Group Leger. Fujara Prince the far side, near side Search for a Song. She's got a real battle on hands this year. Fujara Prince is making it hard. Twilight Payment's trying to come back at them, but Search for a Song has got to the front, and Search for a Song is going to do back-to-back Legers. It's a 9th Leger success for Dermot Weld, and Search for a Song has won it and won well. Twilight Payment, Fujara Prince and Barbados were next, and then Sovereign, Passion rather, in front of Sovereign, and the final ones to go by were Micromanage and Ra'atal. This is a wonderful achievement by a beautiful filly. We had Magical doing back-to-back in the Champion Stakes yesterday. We have Search for a Song today, who has done back-to-back Legers. Vincent O'Brien has won 9 Legers. Dermot Weld can say he's done the same. 2 Vintage Crop, 4 Vinnie Roe, Valudacore, and now Search for a Song by 2. Well done, Ushinor.
Superb.
Yeah,
you must have enjoyed that. That was a cracking
yeah, and a great mare. She's done it well. Young lad gave her an absolutely beautiful ride, Ushinor. Plenty of pressure on him. All these lads have ridden big winners. This man hasn't ridden a Group 1 winner before, and Micromanage just couldn't keep him in there, and he mosey up on the outside, the Twilight Payment, Wayne Lorden, the grey Albert Azzini on the grey horse on the inside. Fujara Prince, he battles away. He's an Ebor winner, but she comes here nicely, sticking his right hand. He puts it down for a few strides, gets another smack into her, and she quickens up well. She's a hell of a good mare, beautifully trained, and I must say, beautifully ridden by this young man. He's a lovely rider and delighted for him.
Well, Jane, you were right.
From the very outset, though, Hugh, wasn't it so important that this filly switched off today? She did completely the opposite of what she did last year and won like a filly that she had a lot left in reserve. From the home straight, you could see from Oisin's body language, it was a case of just don't get there too soon. He was full of horse. Fajira Prince has run a huge race as well for the overseas Raiders, but Dermot Weld, 9 St. Ledgers and a back-to-back with Search for a Song. He'll get a lot of satisfaction from that, and he's with Brian.
Yes, thank you, Jane. Dermot Weld, many congratulations. What a performance by the filly and by you. Your 9th Irish St. Ledger.
Yeah, when you it is an achievement I'm very proud of. It's a team effort like everything I do. I'm only part of a big team.
Yeah, you were quietly confident beforehand. I was trying to eke it out of you, and I think the viewers got distilled that quietly DK was fancying this filly.
Yeah, the plan had been this race. I thought she ran super in the Group 1 over 10 furlongs. I was delighted for Oisin Orr riding his first Classic winner. And, of course, it was a lovely double on the day for the 2 fillies to win, the filly in France and here, of course.
Group 1 double by 2 fillies, and you have to mention the Donegal man, 23 years of age, and you've really been making it nice and quietly your stable number 1, and he performed on the big stage, Dermot.
He did. He gave the filly a lovely ride. I just said to him, go out and ride it with confidence.
And he did that?
He did that. He did that. Produced her at the right time, and she just showed what she can do.
What were your thoughts turning in? Because he was still seemed to have plenty underneath him.
I wasn't at all worried.
Wasn't at all worried?
I was quite confident.
Dermot, we're quickly going off air. Well done, you. Well done, Team Rosewell.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Fantastic win, Jane.
I must say, in those colours, this is very special because obviously this filly is a 3-part sister to Free Eagle. The dam, Polished Gem, has bred 10 runners and 10 winners, and obviously many of them black type like Sassfire, Custom Cut, Search for a Song, and so many more. But I must say, Eva Busha Hefner and Fiona Craig, Moigler are such big supporters of the Irish industry. They've recently sponsored a new gallop here at the Curragh. This was a huge win for a filly who will finally get the credit she deserves.
Finally, from not just Jane Mangan. OK, we are out of time, unfortunately. The next time you see us will be November. We'll have the Long Johns and hot water boiled out for Ferryhouse Winter Festival. Thanks so much for staying with us over the last couple of days for the Longines Irish Champions Weekend. Some cracking races, some cracking horses. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.
It's an international double for Dermot Weld today. Tarnawa having already won the Group 1 Prix.